Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angel, and if you're new here, all I do, it's literally to start over. The first book I read in September was The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This read was a reread, and I read it in the beginning of my whole reading journey, so like probably 3 years ago, and it's safe to say that I still love it as much as I did the first time. I feel like this book was super iffy for some people, but I don't understand what people didn't like about this book because it's everything you could ever ask for an enemies to lovers book. The Shadows Between Us is basically about Alessandra and Calais. Alessandra is like forced to marry a man, you know, like a suitor. Her dad is trying to find her a suitor, and she's like, nope, I have bigger plans for me. I am gonna woo the king, and then once I get him to marry me, I'm gonna kill him and basically run the kingdom. And so of course she goes into Calais's palace. She acts so uninterested when it comes to him, and Calais finds that so intriguing, and obviously it reeled him in and they become kind of like best friends. But then she has like that whole like secret agenda of like plotting to kill him. But this wouldn't be a good enemies to lovers book if it didn't have I'm here to kill you, but I fell in love with you. Like, isn't that just amazing? I just love that trope so much. You know, it's just so amazing because you know the betrayal after the other person finds out that secret agenda. It's done for. I love it so much. And there's like so many plot twists in here because they are trying to find Calais's like assassinator or like murderer in a way. Like Calais has his own storyline of trying to figure out the person who murdered his parents. And I hope it's not too late to mention, but he has shadow powers. I know. Isn't it amazing? I think I'm still gonna rate this book 5 out of 5 stars because it was amazing. The next book I read in September is Broken Bonds by J. Bree. This book is the first book out of 5 in the Bonds That Tie series. And this book was definitely not what I expected it to be. I thought it was full on like fantasy, like dragons, assassins, I don't know, but it was, I want to say it's more like dystopian just a little bit. Like they're still normal people, but then they have like powers, so maybe like a Winx Saga kind of vibe mixed with like Divergent. I don't know, that's kind of the vibe I was getting from this. But this book is about Ollie and how she was on the run for 5 years, and then she got caught by like the council people. I don't know, I don't remember what they're called, but she basically has like 5 bonds. I kind of think of bonds as in like mates. So she has 5 mates, and one of them is like rich in the council, one of them is like her professor, they're brothers, and then one of them is like in her grade, and then the other one is like kind of like their police force in a way. And then the last one, he was in a different country, like getting his education somewhere, but then moved to where Ollie is now at. Basically, this first book was just enemies to lovers right off the bat. Ollie goes to like this boarding school meant for students that have like powers or like could shapeshift, all that jazz. And basically, yeah, I feel like there's really no plot in this book. It was just straight up enemies to lovers. I did start the second book. What is it called? Savage Bonds. It's like right here, but I don't know, Ollie kind of got annoying, so then I took a break and then I fell into a deep reading slump. So that's awesome for me. I would rate Broken Bonds probably like a 3 out of 5. The last book I read in the month of September was The Silent Patient by Alex McCallids. I have no idea, completely butchered it, but this is like a psychological thriller mystery book. I was not expecting that ending. The way that Alex wrote it and like the plot twist revealing was very like subtle and like so casual, to the point where I had to look back at what I read to like make sure that I actually read what I read because it was just so casual, so sudden, and I was like, okay, well, it was correct, so let's get on with it. The Silent Patient is about Alicia. Alicia has been married for, I think, like 7 years, and one day she just ups and shoots her husband in the face like 5 times, and then she gets put on trial for murder and basically gets sentenced like however many years, and then gets thrown into an asylum. And so while she's in this insane asylum, she just stops talking and literally does not respond to anybody. And so Theo comes along, gets a job at her asylum, and tries to crack down what happened that night, why she stopped talking. It was crazy, I'll tell you that. I would give The Silent Patient a good 4 out of 5. And now moving on to my TBR, I'm very optimistic apparently with 5 books. But I wanted to talk about my current read right now because I think it's the perfect book to start off in October. Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm so excited. I received this in the mail and was literally so shocked. I was like, oh my gosh. So excited. If you guys didn't know, Throne of the Fallen is a spin-off from Kingdom of the Wicked. The whole series, if you are so new to this, you're like, what the heck is Kingdom of the Wicked? Kingdom of the Wicked is about the 7 deadly sins. And so each sin is like a prince of the underworld, and so Kingdom of the Wicked is about the Prince of Wrath, and so that's like his love story, his little journey. But Throne of the Fallen is about Prince of Envy, and I think from what I read, it's like kind of like a game, so it's giving off like Caravel a little bit. But it's about a game, and it involves Envy and Camilla. They are playing this game together, trying to win, and all while trying not to fall in love. So, I'm here for falling in love. My TBR kind of consists of dark books, only because it's October and it's like spooky season. So I want to read like as much mystery books as I can. Starting off, The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. If you guys did not see my Barnes shopping and haul vlog, go and check that out. The Locked Door is about Nora. Her dad was convicted of murder when I think she was like 11, and so growing up that kind of traumatized her, and then she grew up to be like a well-known surgeon, and so I think psychologically or subconsciously maybe she thinks that she is good at being a surgeon because her dad was a murderer. I know, kind of messed up. But there's like a big secret about Nora's past, and then like one of Nora's patients gets murdered in the same exact way that her dad murdered like his victims. And so there's like this whole mystery behind Nora has some dark secrets, and the police can't pin the murder on her as long as they don't look in her locked basement door. Like, I need to find out what is going on behind that door. The next book of my TBR is The September House by Carissa Orlando. This book was sent to me and I read the description, and I've never read a paranormal book that was like not romance, so kind of excited. The September House is about Margaret and her husband Hal, who have moved into this old Victorian home that happens to be like their dream home. So they move into their Victorian home and they notice that every September weird paranormal things are happening. Blood is coming down from the walls, things are being misplaced, and all of a sudden Hal disappears. Where? Beats me, I have no idea. But their daughter comes in to live with Margaret to try to figure out where her dad went and why all these things are happening. The next book on my TBR is another Frida McFadden book, The Housemaid. This book, I've seen so many people rave about it on TikTok. I want to say like maybe last year or like a couple months ago. Everybody loves her. Everybody is like crowning her as the queen of mystery. So I had to pick up another book, and you bet The Housemaid, because I heard that it's like a series and this is like the first book. So super excited to continue on this journey. The Housemaid is about this maid who works for this rich, wealthy family and how she envies the wife's like life in a way. Kind of like she has the perfect life, she has the perfect husband, the perfect child, the perfect house, perfect everything. But basically the wife just is not about the maid. Also, I think the maid has like a thing for the husband, because the back it gives like a description about like how handsome that wife's husband is. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm sensing like a little affair gonna happen, but we'll see. The maid also finds out that her bedroom door locks from the outside, but also makes a comment about how the rich and wealthy family doesn't really know her past. So I don't know, I feel like a lot of things are just gonna happen, and there's gonna be a lot of different parts that I'm gonna really have to pay attention to if I really want to understand the book and like understand the plot twist. The next book on my TBR is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I feel like this book is like slowly blowing up because of Sarah on YouTube, and like, but I just had to pick it up because I'm so easily influenced. It's kind of bad. Anyway, The Naturals is about Cassie and how she has this power of like reading people. Like she's so good at reading people, and how the FBI comes knocking on her door basically telling her that there's this program that are meant for people like her, and she basically finds out that all the people in the program have like some kind of power, and in that program all those kids with superpowers come together and basically try to find this killer that's like on a murdering spree. So yeah, I'm super excited for this. Everybody says it's amazing and it's great, so I'm happy to put this on my TBR. The last book on my TBR is kind of random because I feel like all of my TBR books are super dark and like mystery and like just spooky season. So I decided to throw in a little romance. This book is called Tempting Little Thief by Megan Brandy. I was sent this book by Megan Brandy herself. Love it so much. This cover, by the way, let me search up the description. This book is about Bastian and Rocklin. Rocklin grew up rich and spoiled, while Bastian grew up in an abusive family, and he's poor, so we have that poor boy, rich girl aspect of the book. I also read a Goodreads kind of like review of like what tropes there are, and it's college romance, secret society, opposites attract, touch her and you die, and found family. Because I didn't know that this is the first book in the Girls of Grayson series. I'm gonna be in the middle of so many series, which is so bad, but I just have to read it because I don't know. It literally says on the top, it says, the daughter of a kingpin, the son of a dead man. What could go wrong? And that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for more and see you guys next time. Bye.